That's
But
cool.
anyway.
This is fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Like, I'm really glad you guys are talking about this because I'm not very educated on the subject, but I still enjoy talking about it because at least this way, I can feel like I don't have a say, but I can at least specify what my say is. How can you figure out how you feel unless you put it against someone else?
Here's the thing: knowledge is everything. Like, a lot of people don't know what we're talking about. I mean, that's why we have fun on the street talking to people, because they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And we'll come up and we'll start talking like, and they're like, "What?" but it's like, okay, and we start talking about, like, remember the gal last year at the Mosey when I offered her a Constitution? She goes, "Well, I don't really.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too good with rules against me or something."
Right.
And I'm like,
She didn't like rules.
No,
but Constitution
this is your freedoms. This is the rules against the government for making rules against you. I mean, they don't even.
It's everything you want.
Yeah. Well, and I think the people, the Bible, they look at the same. So we'll go into that segue. But the Bible, we look at that too, right? It's about those are telling me what I can't do. But think about all the things that God says you can do. You can do all these things, but why does God say, and why did the government, or why did the Constitution, the people who wrote it, say what they said? Because they were trying to protect the people, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And that's what God does with the Bible. He's trying to protect us. He says, okay, do not do this, because if you do, you will die. He literally said that to Adam and Eve. Do not take from that fruit, because you will die. So when we go after these things,
I think it was a little more intense than that. It was like all of human race will suffer.
We'll suffer from your
forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
I don't know if
that's why we all have to wear clothes now. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Hey, like, don't fuck up. Everyone else is like you. It's gonna. Yeah, they're gonna feel it. Don't fuck up.
well, and then because he knew what was going to happen. He knew his son would have to go to the cross.
But you know what? We're pretty lucky.
And he did.
For that.
Yeah, we need to be very grateful for that. That's right. But I mean, I think that's a neat kind of connection though between the two big tens, right? Because it's like you were saying that girl is like she thought it was preventing her from joy. And I think a lot of people look at faith or Christianity that way too. It's like, oh, I should be allowed to do what I want to do when I want to do it, right? But no, life has boundaries, though.
Yeah.
There's laws. There's laws of nature, right? I mean, you look at gravity. Thank God for gravity.
No.
We'd be all floating around.
I've got scars. I've got scars to prove.
There's always laws.
Yeah.
Always.
Then laws are good, but what happens is we try to go around those, and then look what happens. Look where we're at in our country.
Well, exactly. Look where we're at. All right, seriously, I don't want to watch this later and watch half of my face the whole time.
You're doing, no, I think you're just wobbly. He's just wobbly.
And you've cut off
wobbly. So anyway, do you want to? You have any other questions for Frank here? Do you have any?
Actually, I was going to ask him. Does he have any?
Yeah. What do you have any like?
I guess you guys vote for anybody?
Oh, voting for anybody?
We're going to underticket. I'm going to vote for the underticket, and there's a new independent that just came in.
Who?
For the life of me, I can't remember his name. He's new. I just heard about him this past week.
Thank God.
And,
Please bring as many people as you can.
He won't win, but if
bring him in.
If he's on the ballot, I've heard him on Glenn Beck's show on the Blaze.
Okay.
And the Blaze TV. If you don't have it, get the Blaze TV. Seriously. He's a good guy. Well, he'll be the only independent. There's a Democrat, Republican. There's a Green Party. There's Gary Bauer, or is that right? Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson, the libertarian. And he's not a libertarian. I can't vote for him. And then there's this independent guy that's he was in the CIA. He's a serious dude, and I like him a lot. Just from the little bit I know about him, I like him better than any of the others. So just so I won't not vote for a president, I might vote for him
As long as you're voting. That's all that matters.
But no, I'll vote for my senators. I'll vote for the
that's one
Congress,
thing
I'll
Dave
vote
talks
for
about is local.
Even
That's
if you
where-
don't not vote just because you're not voting for the
that's
president.
that is the
vote
most,
for your local people.
The most important.
Because that's the most that affects your life the most.
Well, see, I wonder though. It's almost like the federal government's so big and powerful. Does the state governments? It's just like when North Carolina did that bathroom bill thing.
I'm going to have you read for a moment.
And then the federal government came in and said, "No, that's discrimination." You remember? Do you remember
the transgender
North Carolina?
things?
Yeah, about the bathroom thing
Yeah.
in North Carolina. But the federal government came in and said, "Oh no, you can't do that. We're going to take away money." So what? But what are you getting at? What are you saying? Can you
Read
interpret that?
Amendment 10.
The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
I mean, like, were you surprised though? Like, I mean,
that
Obama,
means the
like,
federal government has squat to say.
There's
but the thing
been
is, they are. Go ahead.
I mean, when it comes to like when Obama's under power, there's been more states coming into
Against.
No, not against. There's been the LGBT movement has been.
I missed the first part of this conversation.
When Obama came in power, there's been the most progress to LGBT and all that stuff.
If you want to call that,
there's
progress,
been the most states that have passed.
Here's what I want to know.
Rights.
If I got a business, this is my boss's business. It's not mine. That Constitution says I got the right. I can refuse service to anybody for any reason. Now I don't like that. Like I said, we talked to this lesbian couple. I think they're great. I love both of them. I think they're all. I invited them to get on Facebook and get in touch with us later to do a further show to see how they're doing later. Because I'm not against anybody, but if somebody is, hey, that's their problem. And I'll tell you what. Wouldn't you rather know? Why do you want somebody to be forced to serve you for what? Like I'm old, long-haired, heterosexual, doughy white guy.
That's your description.
If they don't want to serve my type, okay, that's fine. There's plenty of places that want my money. I don't have to go there. Just like smoking or not smoking. You know what? Why does every place have to be not smoking? I mean, there's plenty of places to go.
I see
this stuff. I'm
saying
saying it's the same thing to me. I want to know if somebody doesn't want this kind of element in my store because I'd never go there, even if I wasn't that person, because they are.
I'm going to say this: that's fine for them, and they can honestly put all the effort to making it so that that's not what's going to happen to them. But the thing is that that's part of it is that they're going to get that pressure against them. There's people who want to go to that place who are against all of those rules, and they're going to do it. That's as long as he knows that's what's going to happen. Then all to him. As long as he knows.
And do you know why government has anything to say so about marriage at all? You know how
about marriage?
Yeah,
because taxation. There's a lot of laws.
There's some of that, but do you know when that's in the old days, like pre-Civil War, it was between you and your church. That was it. That all you had to do was go to church. I love this woman. This woman loves me, and it was the rules of the church, basically.
I get that, but the Federal Reserve wasn't like completely.
Well, the Federal Reserve's a financial thing.
But that's why the reason that people.
No, it's not.
It's what I think.
You had to get a license after the Civil War. Now think about this. What happened after the Civil War?
To what?
To get married.
Okay.
Because they didn't want. They refused to let
black and
white people to be married.
Right. After the Civil War, so like
because obviously
everything was just like everyone had to apply to.
Yes, and you do. You're not. I'm divorced, so I know. I mean, you go get a license.
Yeah, marriage license.
Got it. Yes.
So the government then had its hand in.
That's how they got
marriage.
started in America, having a marriage license because of prejudice reasons. To keep, we want to keep things.
Right.
Now those laws have changed, but now it's still. But now you still have the federal government. You still have them involved in your marriage. Why? So I
You're
mean,
never gonna not.
If you
When
want
are
to
you
marry a
not
tree,
gonna
you know
have
what? If you're a nut job and you say I want to marry this tree, and you find somebody that says I'll marry you to this tree,
Go fuck a bear and you
What-
can marry
what
it, man.
ma- what
Like,
job-
As long as you fucking throw the
what-
money towards
you know what?
them, like it's gonna happen.
I don't give a shit. You know what you want. I don't care. That does,
Yeah,
But I mean, I know what if I got
but that's
married, and that wouldn't affect me.
that's kind of how it is right now. Like if you have marriage it's very controversial, but if that's what you're going for and you fight for it.
Marrying a tree or a bear, which one?
Well, both, I guess. But what you're going for, though, if you have the vindication, it's like
the desire, maybe, or the
like if you really want to do it,
Right,
then
right.
that's what you go for. Like that's what America's about. If you want to do it, then that's really then what you're fighting for, and whether or not they do it or not.
I think the wall that's coming up too that we're hitting is like where if I have, it's just like abortion. If you have a conviction, and like I don't want to give my money to someone like the government who's been paying for abortions through Planned Parenthood. So in the other part of this
That's
though
a
with the
hot
marriage
topic.
thing is the conviction. If I have a personal conviction, the government shouldn't force me to do something against my personal.
He's saying we
conviction.
shouldn't use our tax money against ourselves with our personal beliefs and principles.
Right.